How's it going, everybody? I'm McSirTuna. I'm here to try to get the kill screen on Miss Pac-Man Turbo. I did try this last year, thanks, opponent, and hopefully this year I can actually finish it. We're going to be playing, keeping things at a low-risk pace for the most part, so I'm not going to be going overboard for score early on, and hope that we can get there. So, since it seems like you guys love really long playing old arcade games, I got another one for you. So, alright, let's get started, and here we go. Alright, so for the first few levels, I don't consider it to be any risk to try to eat the ghosts. We're going to just get back to a start state here. Let me reset that. Alright. Make sure that this is working. It is. Okay. It's, yes, this is an actual arcade cabinet. Alright, here we go. And started. Good. So I'm going to try to not push too much risk in terms of eating ghosts, eating fruit where it doesn't make sense. First few levels, I will definitely be eating ghosts because I consider that to be a no-risk situation. So I kind of set it that after the third level, I'll not eat anything that doesn't make sense. I'll do my best to answer some stuff in chat, but my eyes are fairly tied to the game. So you get all the time in the world here for the initial level cherry. Cherry strawberry, this will be the only time you ever see this level or board layout. So that's gone. So this is Miss Pac-Man Turbo is what this would be considered. It's original Miss Pac-Man cabinet that has a more or less what I guess you would call a hack on it to let Miss Pac-Man move faster. The jury's out as to which is the better. People like original because it's probably more challenging for them, where she goes at normal speed. I like faster because it's more exciting to me. So this is my preferred version of Miss Pac-Man, and or any Pac-Man for that. Although I don't really need to group them in any way here. I'll send them around again just so I get a faster eat. So I did also pick up my only free man, extra life, what have you, at 20,000. Which can be set between 10, 15, 20,000 based on dip switch settings. Mine just happens to be set at 20. So now we have our 4 Miss Pac-Man, and that's all we get. Peach. This will be the last board. I'll probably make a full attempt to really eat all the ghosts. Just because I should have enough time, and I already biffed eating all the ghosts there. 1, 2, 3. I'll get 3 of the 4. But this is not a score run. The only real reason I would keep eating the ghosts is based on what the score is. It's easier for me to keep track of where I am along the lines of the game. But with so much randomness in the fruit drops, it tends to still be hard to keep track of unless you're just kind of saying to yourself, man, we've had a lot of bananas and pears, so you kind of just go by that. So not super difficult to eat all the ghosts here, although obviously I already missed one. I usually will tuck away here, let them group a little bit in that corner, and then wait till it makes sense, eat my pellet to get those top ones. And now we'll just finish off the last of this. Alright, next up is pretzel. Pretzel is also not terrible for eating all the ghosts, but it's kind of the first point where I might push myself further than what I would need to and risk getting gotten. And it's definitely not worth a life to get eaten in the first set of stages. I'll still eat ghosts. I just won't push it if there's a close call. Like here, no problem. No reason I won't eat them all. Also resets the ghosts into the center, which kind of resets my positioning. I probably shouldn't have gone for that one, but I went for the fruit, aka pretzel. The saltiest of fruits. Still going to let them group here because I'll get a nice little group right there and get them all for no good reason. Alright, now we'll pull back down to the bottom, pull them off to the bottom left. I'll kick over. I need to get them all kind of on the southern hemisphere. Then I get them on the left side and then tuck away here again. Inky's going to get in my way, but that's okay. We'll get 3 of them. This would be a situation where I would have gone and chased that one down normally, risking potentially getting caught, but no reason to throw that risk in. Apple is probably my most hated level. This will be the last time we'll also see this particular stage. This one I hate the most just because you have a shorter amount of time to eat the ghosts, and it's usually where I will risk too much and get caught. So there's a lot of restarts that come from me playing on Apple. Normally I would probably easily double back and get both of those guys, but right now, not worth it. That's good enough. Not really set myself up for a lot of points success there, but that's whatever. Alright, we'll just get the one and get out. So, the Turbo is a add-on chip that goes onto the original board set. And my research on it is somewhere between it's a hack and they made an official board chip for people to use. Potentially for the main reason that it can speed games of Miss Pac-Man up and operators can make more quarters. So, but I've never read anything like super official to say, ah yes, this is what this is. And it is official or not official. Now, Pear, I'll eat all the ghosts. You get, it's like strawberry amounts of time here. Look, they're not even flashing yet. He still wasn't even flashing in all that time. So no reason I can't eat all the ghosts here. So we will do just that. Definitely a low-risk situation. As long as they're all on the same half of the board, no reason I can't catch up to them. Once again, it does help by resetting them all to the middle, at least for the most part. Not a lot of concern, so even here, it's a little bit of a hot mess of them being all over. I'll let them get all back out, and then we'll tuck over here and group them up and eat them. Alright, so on to banana next. Usually I'd want my score to be a little higher. We sacrifice some on that apple board. Bananas are our main fruit at 5,000 a pop. On this, I would eat more ghosts here, but I'm not really worried about it. So we'll just let it be. That's fine. I could have easily gotten red there. Game will mainly, I should have eaten him. Mainly kick into gear once we get to level 19. Just take my 1 and get out. Playing it safe. I want to get to the main grinding part of the game without losing a life. Normally I like to be well over 100,000. Somewhere between 105 and 115 is preferable by the time I'm there. Alright, so now we have actually broken to the point where we have randomized fruit. So from here on out, the game's points are going to be much more all over the place, which makes the scoring on this game super inconsistent. So you're going to range anywhere from 200 points to 10,000 points in fruit per level. So if you're going for a high scoring run, you just got to play and hope for good fruit drops. Alright, so now we're on banana 3. A little less time on eating ghosts, so want to be a little more cautious here. Not even going to bother going up for him. There are strategies that you can use to do ghost groupings to make sure to eat all the ghosts on every opportunity that you can turn them. Like, that's a solid 3, no problem. Get that apple. But doing that would mean I'd be spending a lot more time grouping these guys in a specific... There we go. Just do that. Get 2 and get out. Alright, so now we're going to move on to the junior boards. That last board you could call the chase boards, or I call them banana boards because the banana is the main fruit there. And then now we're on to the junior levels. I'll still try to eat all the ghosts on this one because once again you're given a lot more time on your palette parts on junior 1. Go around, get that, and nice banana there. As long as we don't get caught up anything too crazy there, we get plenty of time. Apple, not too bad. Might not get them all here. Probably won't get them all here. Probably not worth the chase. But we will anyway. Yeah, never mind. Plenty of time, once again. Not even waiting for him to get out of his home. Boop. Alright, finish that off. Get out of here. On to Junior 2. So now it's going to be a set of 4. 4 junior levels, 4 banana levels, back and forth for the rest of time. Strawberry, not really worth high risk. Maneuvers, 200 points, not worth much. At this point, I'm just trying to get 1 ghost, and that's fine. I'm not going to sit around here and... normally, I would kind of maneuver a little bit to kind of get a little bit... At least 2, preferably 3 ghosts per pellet. Junior 3, now the ghosts are going to really be moving. Power pellets aren't going to really last too long. Boo whoop. Okay. Last junior level, then we go back to banana, and then we're getting close to the long grind. Nope. Trying to catch me there. Oh, a pair. Nice. We'll get to him eventually. There we go. And now we'll clear out our power pellets, trying to stay safe. Never mind. I was supposed to eat those 2 ghosts. Take 1. That's fine. Alright. Play it safe, pull them down to the bottom, and then we'll go sweep those up. This is an actual cabinet, Jesse. So this is original 81. I think it's got like 117,000 plays on it. So this one you can still eat a lot of ghosts on. This is oh yeah, we got to throw a finger up here. Here's where I start to count, because if I forget and I lose track, I've cost myself my fair share of lives that way. So we got 1 finger up because this is the first of this junior level. We need to make sure we know when we get to the 4th one. We'll get 3. 3 ghosts there. I'll clear out my dots. I'll just play it safe here. No need to do anything too risky. I'll grab him for fun, and then I'll go eat those. All right, so throwing up a number 2, so we know we're on the 2. 2nd level here. Kill screen is where you get to a point in the game that some sort of malfunction happens within the code itself that has the game come to an end, where normally there is no planned ending to that game. Miss Pac-Man is a little bit different. It happens somewhere between levels 133 and 141, based, as far as I can tell, on how it ends up glitching out and potentially your board that you have. All right, we will finish out this corner here. We'll save that bottom corner for last. Work on this. Pull them left. Pull them back right. This is where grouping them gets to be a little bit more helpful. And then go finish that out. All right, now we're on 3. So this is one of the last levels, not the last, but one of the last levels where you get to eat ghosts. So minimal ghost switch time there. Normally I'd like to eat some, but there we go. We'll get 1, we'll get 2. Boo whoop. Alright. There we go. Grab both. Finish out that bottom. Get to the side. All right, now number 4. This is where I don't want to screw up. Now that I know I'm on this level, this is where the ghosts will not turn when I eat power pellets for the first time. So you don't want to be sitting there waiting to expect to eat a ghost and then only to run into his face. Not a good thing. And I've lost track in my attempts in the past, and it's not good. You never want to lose a life to that. All right, so now we get sent back to the junior levels for the final board where you can eat ghosts. This would be level number 18. Now, normally by the time I'm done with this, I want to be at least over 200,000 points. That's what I'd like to see. And usually, if I'm having a better run for points, somewhere around like 220 I think I've been as high as like 230 to 240 before. And that's usually if you get some good fruit. You got to be lucky with those bananas. Plus, you got to eat a lot of ghosts. Okay, they're trying to get tricky with me there. Ain't gonna let that happen. And finish it out. Okay, so good. That's step one, which is to get to what I like to call the long road ahead, which is level 19, without losing any lives. Here's where it will really benefit to just zone in, or zone out, if you will. And this is where trying to go for fruit can get you caught. Send them back. Send them back. And finish it out. All right, clear it up. Bananas are always a nice sight. It's built into me to try to still go for the fruit. I obviously don't need it, but yeah. See fruit, eat fruit. It's like leaving a man behind. You can't leave anybody behind. Now what I don't want to do is just throw away a life going for a fruit, especially a dumb fruit like cherries. There we go. So the way that it starts is a bit random, if you will, so that there's no constant pattern you can use. What you have is ghost AI behavior, which you can use to your advantage in order to group them. Like you see that I have a chunk of them grouped right now, so that just gives me less targets to have to worry about getting trapped around by. And then use your you want to use your warps to your advantage to keep clear. If you can, early on, I always like to go eat the high-risk areas, which in this level is the top middle. But you can't always get to it. Sometimes they'll throw a ghost in your way, and you got to be ready for that. So you can't just be on autopilot thinking that you can always get the same start. You also get what you saw there, which I will call a turn back. After X amount of seconds within a level, the ghost will do a 180 turn, and sometimes that'll catch you off guard if you're not ready. So as of right now, the ghost will turn back whenever I eat a power pellet, but then they'll also turn back at that timer. So if you're not paying attention to the how long you've been playing a level, you can go ahead and eat a power pellet, send the ghost back, thinking that you're good, but then they do a turn back, and then the next thing you know, he's right back in your face. So you got to always be ready for that when you're kind of getting to that point in the level. So in that sense there, I turned him away knowing I can come down here and get to the safe state where I can bounce back and forth between this to get control. If Sue would have turned back right when I ate that power pellet, it would have totally screwed me up. So good start. They kind of all faded down to the bottom, which gives me an opportunity to go clear that top. Trash fruit, but he'd grab it anyway since it was safe and easy to eat. Take him to the left, go clear out the bottom right. Take him to the right, go clear out the bottom left. A lot of times I save those bottom two corners for last. Also, this bottom middle, always clear that out first, or at least I do. It's a very dangerous area, has only two ways, one way in, one way out, and it's a long way. So very easy to get trapped in there, and you don't want to do that. Biggest thing you got to do is just make sure you make as few mistakes as possible. Always thinking about what my next move is. Like here, this is a problem, obviously. And I got caught because they turned back right there, which totally threw me off. Alright, so we threw away our first life. Not a big problem. We can come back from that. So certainly not a flawless run, which sometimes you're always running on that first life and you're thinking about, well, maybe I can do this without dying. That's something I have yet to do. It's on my wish list of things to accomplish with this game. Banana. Gotcha. So yeah, being ready for that turn back, kind of focusing in on being able to watch everything that's going on. Important so that if they're going to a tunnel on the opposite side while you're on the other side, you don't get caught thinking that you're safe. So you always got to be aware of ghosts going into the tunnels, regardless of where they're at. So that top middle there is also the most dangerous section on the junior set. Pull them back through. I don't trust them, so I just went and ate that dot a little ahead of time to send them back. Alright, another turn back right there actually got me out of a little bit more of a trouble spot. And finish that out. Usually one of the worst things that ends up happening is as soon as you lose that first life, it kind of gets in your head and you lose focus. And then usually it can be a downhill pattern from there. So it's always important to get back on the horse quickly. Finish out that level that you were on and kind of get back in a groove. Okay. Kind of sat up there and waited for a moment. A lot of times what I'll do is I'll just slam against a wall, pick up a stall. Even if it's for just a moment, just to wait for them to make their decision. And then I'll proceed from there. Could take a breather. All right, now we can finish off our two bottom corners. I waited for him to pull him down at the bottom there so that I could grab the top. And going around here. So usually I like to, if things are going well, clear the boards in a very similar way. I like to clear the top section first. Then I'll worry about those two bottom middle sections there, those two little legs, if you will. They can get a little tricky because you can get caught up in those if things don't go well. And then, as you can tell, I tend to leave those bottom corners for last. You get a good amount of time if you can eat your power pellet and send them away. And then you have time to clear that out, get to another safe spot. Generally, as long as I'm not making mistakes, which should would be of expecting to make a move and then not making it, or the other option is having them turn back on me into a situation where I wasn't necessarily ready or expecting it, which is how I lost that first guy. Things can tend to go pretty smooth. The other thing is trying to keep a clear head so that if things are looking rough, that you can just focus and try to get yourself out of it, like that. That was kind of riskier than I needed to be. A lot of times if I'm playing Miss Pac-Man, I'm also listening to music at the same time, just because it helps you kind of focus less on the game. Chubo said that about when he was playing Tapper, that sometimes you do best when you're not really... It's somewhere between being focused and not focused where you can do your best work. And that to me rings perfectly true with playing Miss Pac-Man. There we go. And we'll go clear that out. Have an opportunity to clean that top middle. We take it. The other funny thing is usually if I ever go back and I'm watching back video of playing Miss Pac-Man, it doesn't look that fast to me while I'm playing. It feels like it's going a lot slower. But if I go back and I watch a playback, it always feels like it's going faster than I remember seeing it. There we go. There was a turn back situation there where if you weren't ready for some, you could get caught up. So I have thought about the idea of actually trying to race to the kill screen with the idea that it's going to put a lot more risk into the game. Get out of here. I'll eat that power pellet to send Inky away. A lot of people would say that the game is a lot easier as a fast turbo version. I would tend to easily agree with that statement, but I'm okay with that. That doesn't bother me. To me, they're two completely different games. You're a lot more twitch and trying to move, obviously, faster here and reaction time based, where playing as a slow version of Miss Pac-Man feels way more of a strategic strategy session where you have to do a lot more setup. Here I can just go about my way and then just react as needed while trying to stay aware And away we go. So the climb to the first 200,000 is way faster than the climb after that. Being as I was a little low, I don't like that. I don't like that. Tried to get control back there after they were a little bit out of where I would have liked to have seen them. And that turned out okay. So now that bottom right doesn't have a power pellet in it anymore, so we're going to save that for last. Don't need to take any unnecessary risk diving in there and then getting caught without adequate time to get out. And there we go. Strategeries, yes. Yeah. Inky's the worst. Inky being the blue ghost. I like to think of him as the sidler. Alright, so now since we have stuff at the top middle, I will make that my new endgame situation. But now here, I can't just do this, because you can see Pinky is just going to just bounce back and forth up top, not really giving me a good chance to get in there and cleanly eat up. So what I need to do is get them a little bit tighter up, and then we're going to go race back around the bottom, pull them down, and then finish it off. Keeping an eye on Blinky there, making sure he's not coming for me. Have an opportunity to clear out that middle leg section, will take whenever have a clean chance at it. That's a good fruit level. And a clean level. About to break into that 300 mark. So at this point, usually I'm paying more attention to kind of focusing on every 25,000 points. Not trying to think too far ahead that I get way out ahead of myself. Keep it simple. All right, he wanted to go around, so I will go up the middle. Get into his face a little bit. There was the turn back. I can grab my pair and then clean my corners. So there's my 304. I have never kill screened the first Pac-Man, but I have also not put tons of time into the original Pac-Man. I don't like this start at all. They're kind of all over the place there, leaving me with no good way to get to that top middle. And they're a bit scattered at the moment. So I'm just going to wait it out. There we go. Got my fruit and got the top middle cleared. And now we're back in control. There's the cutback, so I don't have to worry about that. Pull them through there. Send them away. And clear. I've been much more of a fan of Miss Pac-Man my whole life, so I've put my effort into this. I don't like this either. That's where now I've made a mistake and went in a direction I did not want to go. All right. Get back on the horse and get back to getting into a safe set. Take that. All right, 2 guys left. You only need 1 to do it, so You're never out of it as long as you stay in the game. But there's no more extra men coming, so you can't really depend on long gaming later on and hoping to get it back. I'm just kind of ignoring that fruit right now. Normally I would have gone for it, and right now I don't really care. I flushed out my chance to get a second fruit because we ate too many dots. All right. Focus, focus. Got a long way to go. Pinky was coming through that warp there. All right. It's like the opposite of the more exciting it is to watch, that obviously means for me things are going a lot more uncontrolled, which is always bound to happen at some point during a run. Pair. I like pairs. 2,000 a pop. All right, take a breather, pull them back up. And take out the corners. So ideally right now, I really need to kind of get to at least 500,000 before I'm considering to lose this next life. Not that, once again, points matter, but it's the idea that I have a concept of where we are along the lines. If I'm playing a really good game, my high score is, I think, about 823. And that's if I've done a good job of eating a lot of ghosts, as well as getting some good lucky banana fruit drops. Where this game seems like right now, I'm going to probably, if I can get there, kill screen would be around the low to mid 700s. If I had to guess, unless we get a large onslaught of bananas out of nowhere. All right, so we're going to keep this a little safe and not try to fight the ghost close up. So we're going to pull them down, bring it back up. Didn't want to risk going for that one dot in case I made a joystick malfunction. Wait for it to make sense and go get it. Ugh. I didn't like that start. Red was coming my way on the right side. If he had cut right instead of going down, I would have had a situation to deal with. Usually by the time something is... Oh, jeez. Oh, that's a problem. And I almost got out of that. All right, so here we go. Let's make this exciting. Not quite 500,000 when we lost that life to put us on our last man. Take a breather. All right, here we go. More pretzel fruit. Pretzels became fruit well after keys and Galagas became fruit, not to mention bells, the most delicious of all foods. Don't care about you, strawberry, sorry. That's leaving a man behind. Probably going to have to get that middle center at the end unless I get a clean breakaway here. Nope. Wasn't going to make that one. There we go. That wasn't going to be the strawberry that broke the camel's back. Still can't leave behind a banana. All right. Miss Pac-Man being the first, like a DLC action. Although I don't know if it was technically ever considered as something you could officially buy. I mean, obviously they must have bought it from somewhere in order to have it, but maybe not sanctioned. I've tried looking up the history of how the Miss Pac-Man Turbo mod came to be. Could never get good details. All right. There we go. At this point, every level is gutsy. Without having the security blanket of an extra life in tow, everything feels gutsy. All right, bottom right now is the new stopping point or finish point. Not worried about that pretzel. I mean, if he wants to dance into my way, I'll let it happen. Now I got to get those middle sections. And got it. Clear. Plenty of time, we're good. We got a long ways to go. Oh, so long to go from here. You got to be on your toes. Whoop whoop. All right. Get back on the horse here. Get that out of the way. Cut back is done. I can eat that. Take a breather here. All right. Back out there. Whoop and hook. All right. Close to the 400. Didn't really like for dealing with that setup. There we go. That's better. Sorry, pretzel. You're probably getting left behind. It's a lot of improv. Like, I always clear the bottom here first. I grab, like, you can see, if I can make it to the top and clear this, I take it. But I have to improv with what the ghosts are doing, because they don't start the same every time. So I always got to be ready that what I would like to do is potentially not an option. And then it just becomes a task of trying to clean up while keeping yourself in a safer state. So here I'm just trying to pull them over far enough that I can go grab that and then get back to my tunnel safely. And now I'm just going to work on picking off these corners and that bottom middle. All right. I kind of end up taking, I have a generalized where I like to start, where I like to end. But then sometimes I just take what I'm given. You know, if I can get a clean route eating that center section, I take it. Here, I just take that. Then I'm going to double back instead of sticking that out. I don't really want to eat that cherry. Like I do, because I know that the other fruit doesn't spawn until I eat it. There we go. And then I lost that second fruit. Second fruit glitched out on me anyway. What a jerk. So the fruits themselves only will appear once you've eaten a certain number of dots. So after you eat X number of dots, the first fruit appears. Then the second fruit appears after you eat Y number of dots, if you will. But if you haven't cleared out the first fruit before you would trigger the second fruit, then you no longer get said second fruit. So even though normally there isn't much in the way of any timer or anything holding you back, I will wait out making sure to eat that first fruit before I've cleared too much of the level as to not be allowed to trigger the second one. And then sometimes, if you're close, like I was there, that second fruit just kind of glitched out, came out the gate, and then disappeared. Go figure. Usually based on how the fruit comes out, which is also random, and usually how I like to start, I have a position that will cleanly allow me to eat said fruit. But then that doesn't always work either. The ghosts sometimes have different thoughts in mind, so you just, once again, take what you can. I know it probably also seems like the ghosts aren't following me through the tunnel, but they can. One thing you may notice is when on the banana, when I go through the tunnel, I cut down real fast, which then means that they lose interest, according to their AI, in going through said tunnel, which is exactly why I do that. Last thing I need is to have a ghost just appear coming at me from the other side. And there's the cutback. A little closer than I needed that to be. All right, we'll end at that top middle since it's a danger zone. There we go. It's also very relaxing to play. It may seem like you're high level of intensity all the time, but it's very easy to get into a very chill state. I just went right through that fruit. Thank you. All right. There we go. Clear. There's my turn back. Wait for him to go around so I can go that way. I'll take it safe, just grab that little bit, and I'll come back and get it from behind. Fruit wasn't having it. All right, here we go. Now this is a good start. I can get top middle, no problem. Go through, eat my fruit. Oh my God. That was close. That was a joystick error, but I was able to recover. There's the cutback. And we good. I didn't get down quick enough, so red followed me through. All right, need to relax here, get back in control. I shouldn't have done it that way. That's fine. Now we'll eat this, come back, and then end in the corner. Taking a breathe. Banana. All right, there's the cutback. My corner. Waited out red up there so I could take that top middle. Pull back left there. Get that. Clear that out. There's my cutback. So usually about, 3/4 to 2/3 of the way through the board based on how smoothly things are going. That's when I'll get the cutback. So I'm usually kind of aware of when that's going to happen. Max fruit is 2. That is correct. Banana. Okay, there's cut. We'll save that top middle for the end. Unless I get a good breakaway. I just got to get him out of there. So instead of going back through the tunnel, I go down and around, and there we go. Not to mention you have a lot of dots to eat, so going hungry isn't really a big issue for good old Miss Pac. Oh, top middle is sitting there waiting to be the end of it. Unless I get an opportunity like that where I can cut across it. Gladly take that. Grab that, and then run down and get that. All right, up to 450. Can't quite give you the sweet percentage to 1 million points like Chubo had, but we're getting there. I'll be honest, I wasn't quite ready for Inky to come out of that tunnel like that. All right, rather than go across the top and potentially get caught, I decided to head down to get myself into a little bit more control. That pair, I ain't leaving you behind. There we go. Kill screen is somewhere between 133 and 141. 256 is original Pac-Man. All right, the cutback should be coming any moment. That's where I got to be a little careful. There it is. Oh, geez. See, now he's trying to trap me. I couldn't take my normal route. I had to improvise there for sure. All right, cutback should be coming soon. There it is. Draw them over so I can clean that through, and then I'll send them away and then clear out the bottom. After level, and once you get to level 19, the power pellets cease to turn the ghosts. So all they do is have the ghosts turn around. They don't turn them blue anymore, they just turn them around, which is still very beneficial. All right. Running that a little bit non-safe there. Okay, we'll take a little bit more time to get those last few. Nice and clean. All right, did not get top middle. I didn't want to dance too much with Pinky up there. It probably wouldn't have gone well. Not worth the risk. Normally, it's the kind of thing I would do, because playing around with the ghosts in close quarters can be fun and exciting. So now that top middle becomes the end of the level, since it is the most dangerous spot. Oh, Inky going for me there. All right, a banana. As a whole, the good fruit count has been kind of on the lower side for this run. So we would end in the probably low 700s if we get there. All right. Gather them up. Clear out the corners. Had an opportunity to grab the top middle. I take it. Should be getting our cut back soon, so keep a sharp eye for that. There it was. All right, clear. The number of pellets per level does vary. I mean, obviously, you know, each junior type is always the same, but it's something like 238 pellets on this level and 234 on the banana levels, or I might have that backwards. But it's a small difference between them. But it is not identical. All right, I didn't really like how that looked, so I just kind of went back with it. There we go. All right, turn back should be, there it is. Okay. Gonna say, should be any moment. Okay. Probably like 5 or 6 times. All on this same machine. I've also had more than one instance how the kill screen actually played out. The first time I got there, it played out a certain way, and basically every other time after that, it never played out that way again. Oh, jeez. Not worth it, Strawberry. You're not worth it. Sorry. Away you go. I've actually always wanted to have it play out the way that it played out that first time I got there again another time, but never had that opportunity. I can't say I have a clue what triggers it to do one or the other. I didn't like doing that at all. All right, so now I'm going to go bottom left, clear this. I'm going to do a little bit of work in the top left. Grab what makes sense. Get bottom right potentially, which I don't always like doing without a power pellet. Gotcha, pretzel. Here, I will get myself in a good position and just cut them all underneath. There we go. Woo! Clyde's cool, though. Although Clyde isn't in this, it's Sue. They changed it, you know. Make it a little bit more friendly for the men and women. Oh, I don't like that. All right. We'll go back. Take our time. Get each corner cleaned up. All right, I didn't like that either. Okay, cool. Yeah. Pinky coming through the tunnel there out of nowhere. That's a great way to have a level start. Get that pair. Send them away, and in we go. Probably could have headed down and gotten that left middle, but there's our turn back. Go to the rest of that top. Grab that cherry for no good reason. I didn't like how that was going. Sue took a different route than I was anticipating, so I kind of ran away from that and just left those dots behind, which we'll go clean up now. He is playing all around that top middle, so I'm just going to let that be. And I wasn't going to really risk trying to make it into the tunnel there either. There's the cutback already, and Inky took a side turn there rather than going the way that would be most helpful for me. Double cherry level, always the best. And we're in. All right. Moving along. There's the cutback. Take a breather there. Send it back, and good. All right, got the top middle. Got a banana. There's the cutback. I'm not going to mess around with that cherry unless it makes sense. Oh, come on. Whoo. I go for the cherry and nearly die, of course. Destined to have that cherry kill me. All right, and we're good. Corner clears. There was the cutback. That was a faster cleared level, so that cutback was a little bit later. Climbing. Another banana. Take a breather. Not trying to get the strawberry. I got to tell myself that out loud so that I don't just go for it. But I did get it, that is. There's a clean opening in the fact that I'm trying to pull them side to side here. Grab a little bit. There we go. Pull them over enough so I can get that. Pull them over enough so I can go this way. I got Sue hanging out at the bottom. Let's get her back up in the group. Get this. Don't get greedy. I could have gotten that. That's safer though. Ugh. Ugh. As a whole, ever since I've been on this last life, I've done a good job of keeping the risk to a minimum. So even those two cuts where I would on that level weren't really that close, but closer than most of any of the cuts I've been making. So trying to keep it at a pretty safe distance here, so I don't feel out of control. Like, that was an unnecessary move waiting for Sue there. There's the cutback. I could have gone for top middle there, but I didn't. Clear out a corner. Grab that pair. Kind of go around the horn, and we can end in the corner. No turbo button. It's just turbo all day, all the time. that was close to that I needed it to be. A cutback is at a certain point in time within each level, after X number of seconds, the ghosts will turn around. Which, if you're not ready for, and you're moving and staying away from them, it will catch you off guard and potentially cause you to be in a position where you get caught. There's the cutback right there where the ghosts all turn around. So if I'm just humming, hoeing along and I'm not ready, I may eat a power pellets thinking I'm sending them away, and then the next thing I know, they're right back in my face. You don't need that. Timing wise, I don't remember the number of seconds, but it happens at about when I'm going to be 2/3 to 3/4 through the board. There's the cutback. So usually after, when I'm around that point in time, that's when I'm starting to pay attention and not trying to stay close to anybody so that it can happen and I don't get caught in a funky escape move. So the level always starts with also a cutback. There's a cutback. Now, it can happen again if I were to play this level and just milk it out for a long time. But generally, I'm clearing a level well before I would have a third cutback. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and cut. So if you watch that timer, you'll be able to see how many seconds it is after that first cut that they're going to cut back again. I didn't like that clear out at all. I didn't do anything with that. There's the cutback. All right, I was flopping there and flailing for a hot second. Banana. All right, now we're back in control. I'll end in the bottom right corner. I use that pellet to clear out that middle right leg, knowing that I can just go end over there now a little bit safer. I do like a good pair. Although bananas are the money fruit. See, I didn't like that either. I didn't like how it was setting up, so I bailed on that corner again. Based on how it's going, I may end in that top corner. We'll see. That's a long way around to... ooh, banana. It's a long way around without the power pellet to send them back. So it's probably just safest for me to end over there. We can do better than that. There we go. Creeping. I knew I was safe there, but, you know, you never want to get that close if you don't have to. Get that. Clean out this corner. There we go. And we good. Take a breath. Get Sue back, and there's a cutback. I could have gone and got that top middle, but that's fine. We'll get there. Sometimes just let's play it a little safe. It's okay. Go get what you need. There we go. Clean out. The camera is not hooked up to the game. I haven't gone through the effort to do that. Plus, I haven't really been overly interested in trying to dig into this game since I'm very happy to own a really well-working Miss Pac-Man cocktail cab. So it's what you've got is just a camcorder feed sitting over on top of the game. But it comes through well enough. Alright, that was a riskier clear out than I would have wanted to do. But we got through it. I wasn't sure which way red was going there, so I didn't risk it. There's the cutback at the same time I was eating that power pellet, which can get you in trouble. Now, normally I would have just gone for it in that corner, but not worth it. There we go. I did that because that would leave me in a way to go grab that top middle, even if that looked risky. Have red go to the right, so I cut left. Wait long enough so that I don't turn him back into my own face. Bring him left. High. Banana. I'll get you. Oh no! Oh! I saw Inky coming through. I got caught. 6:41 at 1 hour 34 minutes. Nope. Stop that timer. Did not make it. We were probably another, less than 100,000 away if my guess was going in there. But we ground out an extra 300K on that last man. Wish I hadn't thrown away some of the early ones too quickly. Well, I guess that leaves me 10 minutes shy of my planned time, which I could just milk into 10 more minutes of Wizard of Oz pinball, which would be up next. If you're all right with that, we can do the switch over. Thank you, everybody, for watching some Miss Pac-Man there.